Welcome to another episode of Dude Dads, where I don't know what camera to stare at, and I also, that one, great. And I also listened to a lot of Mariah Carey this morning, because it's that time of year, and she's beautiful. Today's guest is Kail Lowry with Barely Famous.
Yes.
How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great. We just got through a bunch of tech. I feel like every episode. Every episode I start with, we spent a half hour fixing all our shit.
Keem, that's pretty regular for us too, right? So
okay.
It's fine.
Right.
It happens to all of us.
Even the beautiful people have problems.
All of them.
Great.
Yes.
We're good.
Even the barely famous people have problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're barely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's go.
People love your episode though. They really did.
I know people really.
Yeah. So once this one drops, I'm going to repost the first one. So it's like go back and listen to the first one too.
I love the way you said drop. It's like, this motherfucker's gonna drop. You know what I mean? Like, this is our first, it's like our first banger. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. So,
shit's dropping. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't pay attention to like your numbers or people views and all that stuff. But like, it seemed like when we were on your show, it did pretty well.
It did really well. I was hoping that people would give you the chance because looking at you guys, it doesn't look like you guys would be on Barely Famous. No offense, right? So it just doesn't, just a bunch of country guys. No, I love that. I want to be able to talk to anyone, and I want everyone to give people who they wouldn't necessarily give a chance to listen. I want them to give you guys a chance.
And we got a lot of really good feedback.
Good.
And very minimal like hate. Tom got
but some you got some?
Tom got some hate for his comments on
the motherfucker?
calling his son a motherfucker.
You did?
Remember when he said, "I'm not going to meet this motherfucker scared," talking about his being born.
People gave you a hard time for that?
Yeah, like,
I call my kids crotch goblins.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. You know what I mean? Who cares?
It's nice you to call your son a motherfucker.
And you know what? They're right. I could have used some better language, and you know what? And next time we'll give it a shot.
It wouldn't have been authentic.
Right. Because you obviously love your son to pieces.
Yes.
So like you calling him a motherfucker is
it's endearing.
It's like when you say
that motherfucker.
You know, when you say fuck these kids.
You don't actually mean fuck these kids. It's like.
And most of the time when the people that say fuck these kids love their kids more.
The most.
Yes.
The most.
Yeah, that's my permission to say it because I love them so much.
Well, they say parenting is only hard for good parents. And that's like one of those fuck these kids because you're a good parent. It's hard on you because you're good at it.
I literally just had that conversation with
Pam
the other day.
Parent now.
Yeah. I said that to Pam the other day. I heard it somewhere. I didn't make it up.
I didn't make it up.
I heard somebody say this, and I was explaining that thing to her, like, damn, that makes sense.
Because you're setting the boundaries, you're giving, the bedtimes, you're doing, all the things, the routines, the things that they don't like. They want to test your boundaries. Fuck these kids.
Yeah. It is hard. You're tired.
Yeah.
You're overstimulated.
Hey, that was a good segue into one of my first questions.
Great.
How do you what's your routine for getting your kids to sleep?
Okay. Well, so we have 5 kids now. So, right after dinner, homework is done before dinner, right? So then when we go into dinner time, right after dinner, it's bath time because I have toddlers, so they have to go get baths right away. And then it's just kind of like the youngest get put to bed first because they're the more difficult ones, especially my toddler. I have to lay with him still. So I'll put the baby to sleep and then lay with my 3-year-old. And then typically my 6-year-old, because now they're in bunk beds. So then he kind of just by nature goes to bed at the same time. And then Lincoln will put himself to bed and I go in and say goodnight to him. And then my oldest will go put himself to bed and I go say goodnight to him.
Okay. Because when I was putting my son to bed, he can be ornery sometimes. To bed. Like a lot of times now, like I just do it all. I put him to bed because he'll just go in there like hit my wife and stuff, and he just turns into an asshole.
Yeah, as they do when they're tired.
Yeah. So I was sitting there, I was like wrestling. I was like, damn. What does Kail do? I mean, like, she's got more than one. I'm just dealing with the one. The other one, I lay her down. She's like, peace.
I can't even.
I'm like, what is she doing? She ain't got another helps. It's all her. I'm like, damn.
We try to do all the homework and all that stuff way before because I also think if we do it too close to bedtime, they're just like not in that mindset. So okay. And even if like we order pizza, we sit down as a family, like it's all of us at one time. And so I think that helps too. Cause like, okay, now it's dinner time. We're like winding down from the day. But it's, it wasn't easy getting here because now it's pretty seamless.
I like that. You make a point of everybody sits at the dinner table.
It wasn't always like that.
No.
Like it used to be just mass chaos, and it was like, we're eating in the living room, and this one's at the counter, and this one's at the table, and this one's in the playroom. And I was like, I don't want this to be like what my kids remember. Like I want my kids to remember that time at dinner, and like we're all sitting down. That was really important to me because my life is so chaotic everywhere else that I was like, we have to have one thing that like puts us together as a family. I'm
a big believer in that as well.
And I didn't have that growing up.
See, and I did. So I was like, and so we always my mom came home, she cooked, and then we always sat down for dinner.
Yeah.
We hit the prayer. We eat.
Yeah.
I might have a friend over or something like that. Like everyone knew, at my house, if you weren't going to have dinner at your own house, just come over to our house. And definitely everyone came over for Sunday morning breakfast, which my mom would throw a big breakfast down every Sunday. And it would just be a revolving door of football players coming in and out.
No, but I love that. And you probably have so many good memories doing that.
Yeah. That's cause my house was if you couldn't talk to your parents about it, you go talk to my dad about it. You know what I mean? So we were that house.
That's huge.
I want to be that house. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, all right, we got to do that now. That way it also instills in them, we're a family. We sit down, we talk, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's important. And like you said, that sets the tone for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Because my son will not focus if we're just trying to cause when I would say 2 years ago, we would just put the food, here you go, eat the food, and then
free for all.
Yeah, it's free for all.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that's pretty much where we're at.
Yeah.
It's a free for all, and it's I won't make excuses. It's because of a chaotic life. Can we do better? Probably.
And maybe you'll get there. This could just be a phase,
Yeah. This is the season of the family.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys in sports too?
Yeah, we just finished soccer and we're finishing up basketball.
Yeah, and now you're talking about wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah.
That's the thing. So perfect example, right?
Wrestling's late.
The kid, it's late. So the kids get home at 4.
Okay.
That's when Pam gets home too. So we'll have a little mayhem. They might want to go outside and play. We're not at homework yet.
Yeah.
So they might want to go outside and play, or we'll try to do because we kind of do 2 dinners because it's road practice.
Isn't that so weird?
Yeah. So what do you guys want? Do you want a quick sandwich before we go or whatever? Yep. And then wrestling practice is at 6. It's over at 7. By the time you get out of there and get home, it's 7:30. Now and
they're starving again.
And that's why you don't do homework.
And when we were doing tackle, it was the same way. I'm like, well, do we eat before or after? Because it's 4 is too early almost, but then 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock is pretty late.
9 o'clock.
To your point, eat a sandwich after school. They're getting a whole meal.
And football, wrestling, you got to shower.
That's
what I tell Jerry. Dude, you cannot go to bed after wrestling. That's how you get ringworm. You can't.
Yeah,
and you're rolling around with 40 other kids on the mat. That's all those things.
There's no days off during wrestling.
No.
For showers. If you're just at home chilling, okay, fine. But
or football.
No, you have to shower.
I try to explain that to people growing up. Tom, why you never do your homework? I'm like, you know what time my night gets done?
Were you guys both high school athletes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you guys get special treatment with the homework thing? Because
my girlfriend did my homework every day at lunch.
No, I treated my homework special, in a special way.
Because I've always felt
what I did is I didn't do it.
When I was in high school, I felt like the athletes, especially the good athletes, never really had to do their homework.
I think it's probably more of a myth about that because a lot of times you'd have more pressure on you to get your shit done.
Okay.
I think that's where the leniency comes from.
That's when the leniency.
They know that you have a little bit more pressure, you have a little more obligations because you go right from school to 3 hours of practice, and then you got to, if you're not driving, you have the after school bus.
They have to go eat, then you have to go shower, then it's okay, it's 9 o'clock. You're fucking doing homework. Especially back then, you would get 5 different teachers giving you homework. I'm like, fuck no. So I made a commitment. Me and my brother made a commitment early in our life and said, we're not doing homework. All right? I'll take a B, a C, whatever. I'm not doing homework. Don't have time for it. I'll learn what I learn here, and that's it. I'm not taking work home. The grown-ups aren't. You know what I mean?
We got to Lincoln basketball practice on Monday night a little bit early, 20 minutes early, and I had to do reading with Lux there because I just knew that by the time we got home, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm not sitting there after dinner to do homework. Or reading, even though it's 15, 20 minutes. I can't. We're tapped out at that time.
And then in college you get maybe some special treatment as far as you'll just leave in the middle of the week for a game or something hey, I can't make that exam because we're not even going to be in town,
right?
Well,
they get also, I think they're guided at least where we went, where Keem and I went, they were guided to take communications major because it was
now there's that route too. It's
major.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're not there for any type of school, yeah, they'll just say, hey, like, you know.
Yeah.
I remember Wesley had a program that pretty much allowed you not to fail. Like, look, if you come below the 2.0 you need or 2.5, I don't remember what it was, here's a bunch of tutors. And then, like, it'll be mandatory tutors, you know what I mean? So people think it's special treatment, but it's really just set up so that you don't fail. And I think that's a great thing about sports that people probably miss is like, look, if you're working for the community, you have something to offer, like you're kind of telling a human, like you have something special in you, like, and we're trying our best to get it out before you fail on yourself. Like, you know what I mean? We're trying to bring the best out of you. So we don't want you to fail. So we hear some things to not let you fail until eventually, like, if you're an asshole, then that's on you. But, you know, but if you're just a regular student, you don't get as much special treatment because you're not sacrificing.
You don't have an excuse.
You have no excuse. You have no sacrifice.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, I remember flipping out at lunch one time because I left. I remember I left one time, went to Wawa, brought the food in, ate it. And I remember the principal yelled at me. He's like, "What are you doing bringing the Wawa in here? They know you left. They're eating in front of everybody else." And I remember just going off like, "I don't want to fucking why can't I do? Why I got to represent everybody? Like, I don't want to represent the community every 5 seconds I go somewhere." And that's being an athlete. I remember my last semester of college, I didn't play football. I just had a regular life, and it was the most stress-free thing ever. I didn't represent anyone but myself. Cause a lot of times, like, if you were caught in your uniform, you would get yelled at. Even when I lifeguard didn't do it, if you got caught in your blues somewhere, somebody always ratted you out. You always you always had the town on your back. So it was always a lot of pressure.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's why there should be some, I don't want to say leniency, but like second chances. Cause I think people learn, like, you should be given second chances in life if people really care about it. I think that's what happened a lot in football is football coaches, that whole culture cares a lot about the players and their second chances and bringing the most out of people.
Sure.
And that's why they get second chances to give him, like, all right, look, he's young. Let's just try everything we can before he fails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a good alternative way to look at it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
I was blacked out. What happened?
That was a great way. That was a great way.
First of all, did I see you pour just black coffee into your mug?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You ever had that stuff?
Yeah, I actually just bought the blonde roast one.
It's phenomenal.
You drink your coffee black too?
Yeah. We're adults here. We drink black coffee.
I think I'm
still that's part of drinking coffee.
My maturity was stunted at 16.
I would say, if you put everything that's from, like, I mean, I don't want to sound sexist, but what most women get is like a milkshake. You know what I mean? Like the Frappuccino.
Give me your Starbucks order.
If it's over 2 words, it's a milkshake. You know what I mean? You're about to hit me with 5.
Fair. No,
I get a Frost,
did try.
Cloud, Mocha, Venti, Mochaccino.
Fair. That's fair. But, like, I did try, like, the oatmeal cookie recipe that went viral, milkshake.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, typically just get, like, just coffee and a touch of creamer.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't add...
It's okay.
I don't add sugar. The oatmeal cookie recipe that I tried, it was like this viral Starbucks thing.
Yeah, okay.
So good, but there's no coffee. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think there's coffee in it.
I sometimes take sips of, like, my wife will get, like, what I call a milkshake, or her friends. I'll take a sip and I'm like, you have coffee in the milkshake. Like, you're not,
right.
Not
it's
coffee.
Like, it's like creamer with a touch of coffee.
It is just liquid syrup. I mean,
my favorite coffee, though, is Wawa coffee.
Yes. The holiday blend right now.
It really is.
I really typically like the hazelnut coffee.
Yes. Oh, that's, you know why? Because you don't need creamer for that. It's already sweet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I like about it.
I still do like a little touch of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I treat myself, come clean. All right.
Come clean.
I treat myself by every 6 months to some creamer, and it'll be hazelnut.
Okay, yeah. Love the hazelnut.
And I think that's only, like, nostalgic for me, because, like, when you first learn coffee, like maybe high school, I used to mix, like, hot chocolate and coffee.
Wait, were you drinking coffee in high school?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, sometimes. Like,
really?
Yeah, if you're going if you're going hunting in the morning, you'd be like, I'm an adult, I'm gonna grab some coffee, but I'm gonna mix it with I would do like cappuccino and hot chocolate mix.
Okay.
So
I started in college, and I was a 7-year bachelor degree girl.
Hell yeah! I mean, look, that's how long it takes to get a doctorate.
I took them to class with me. So, Keem, were you in one of my classes that I took my kids with? No. Oh, okay.
All right. So
I had 2. Oh, go ahead. No,
how old were you when you had your first kid? 16?
17.
17. Yeah. Okay. So you were still in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, they were born when you were in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the January my senior year. But because I bounced around so much, it actually worked to my benefit because the high school that I had transferred from the year prior required more credits to graduate than the one that I transferred to. So I was able to I was legally, by like the state laws or whatever for school, I had enough credits to graduate. So I was done in January and I got to walk with my class in June.
So you didn't even go to school anymore after
No,
that?
I literally went to take one final after my first son was born.
When did MTV step in?
Why are you taking
The
my
October
questions?
before.
You know what
Oh, okay. When you were
So
pregnant.
October 2009.
How do they find you? Tell me everything.
Okay, so we'll run it back. All right.
Run it back.
First season of 16 and Pregnant was airing on MTV.
Yes.
That was like 6 girls, I think, the Macy, Caitlin, Farrah, like the ones the face of the franchise, right? I had seen that and I went on MTV.com and it was like, now casting. So I was like, what the I was already pregnant.
Oh, you wrote your own little...
I was already pregnant, so I was like, what do I have to lose and what are the chances? Like, what the fuck are the chances? So I click on it and it was like, like a little paragraph or something. So I just gave them the rundown. Like, my mom's an addict. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I think between the time I submitted that email and the time I got a call back like 2 or 3 weeks later, my mom had been evicted. So I already... The things had changed that fast.
God damn.
So, and I didn't really believe when they called me. I was like, are we sure this isn't a prank kind of thing? I was already living with Joe, like my boyfriend at the time.
Spam card.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who is this again? And we kind of like didn't really get any of our stuff, like our interview questions, to MTV on time because we didn't take it serious. We thought it was like not real.
Okay.
And then I don't remember at what point. I think that might have been like the summer. So I got pregnant in May. I got pregnant at prom.
You got pregnant at prom.
Not at prom night. We left prom, still in my dress, went to Applebee's.
Prom was finger stuff. Then,
by the way, come clean.
Yeah, come clean. So,
that was a move of mine on the dance floor.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, we'll bring it back to that.
So October, I got pregnant in May. By October, we started filming. I was picked and we started filming.
Okay.
So you was at the end of your pregnancy.
Yeah. So they were going to put me on a different season. They were going to put me on like the second half of the second season, but then they swapped me with another girl, which got me on season 2 of 16 and Pregnant.
Okay.
And I was the finale episode of that season.
I'm going to go back and watch that.
Jesus.
Yeah. I'll watch some early ones.
Never seen it.
That was a 1 episode
deal. You know what? I like knowing you like this.
Me too.
Me too. This is all I know yet.
If you guys wanted to watch anything, I would say let it be the 16 and Pregnant episode. Don't watch like Teen Mom stuff because Teen Mom is where it gets a little dicey.
Oh, I thought that was your nickname. Like, so there was a Teen Mom show.
Jesus Christ.
Is he serious?
Come on.
Oh my God. I actually love that though. That's so funny.
Like I said.
That's why I tell people too, like, whatever, you'll come up in conversation and like, but I've literally watched probably 5 to 8 minutes of Teen Mom. Is it the worst moments that I've ever had? Well, I could tell right away is like, that's not Kail. You're like, I don't know her like that. Yeah, that's not like, so I automatically, I audit that out. That's like, that's whatever. So I would let you watch 16 and Pregnant. Okay. That one's and it was just one episode. It was just one episode. I think total. Is that the one the last time we talked, I saw the one about the dog. No, that's Teen Mom. That's Teen Mom. Okay. That's Teen Mom. Okay. Yep. So, okay. So, but I'm 31 and people still call me Teen Mom. That was my next question. So, what is it? If you get called that, do you correct people? Do you like to not hear it? Like, how did that what's that like now? In the beginning, it was new. I didn't really say anything. Now that I'm 31, I'm like, I have a name. My name's Kail. And I have to be, I try to be polite about it. Sometimes I get annoyed, but I think that goes across the board for every human being has their good and bad days. I'll be either be nice or I'll be like, it's Kail. Do you get a shout like, Teen Mom? Oh yeah, all the time. Are you Teen Mom? And then sometimes I'll say no because it's like, I'm a human being. I'm not a character. Yeah. But so many people, and a lot are doing it in a malicious way. No, they're not. Look at you as a character because that's the relatable piece of it, right? Like if I run into you at the kid's school or wherever else, it's like, hey, it's just like seeing your friend, give a hug, hey, how you doing, whatever. Is that the Teen Mom girl? But then there's other people imagine that just see you at Walmart. What is she doing good over there with her life? Do you? Fuck her with her coffee with a little bit of creamer in it. I don't think I've ever ran into you anywhere where you weren't like pretty put together or look nice, but like, have you ever seen me, Jerry? Maybe I just think you're naturally beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, but is that so? You obviously, you answered my question. You don't worry about how you look.
No, because they used to film me. I would roll out of bed and I would just film because that was my life. Like it was just whatever. And I think that's part of why I have the following I have, because they do recognize that and they resonate. Like there's a lot of moms that resonate with that. Yeah. Like we just don't do makeup and hair every day, you know? And then the other half of it is like, well, she is on TV and she does have an online presence. Why doesn't she get herself ready?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't please everyone.
I like the realness of it.
The film crew, when would they come to your house? Like what is the, like, did you have to set boundaries of what, like,
I wasn't
what
allowed.
you had to give up? Or like, how much control did you have of like?
None.
Yeah.
There was the contract, the initial contract that I signed gave them full access to everything in my life. Nothing was off limits. And it went as far as to say they are allowed to edit and skew how they see fit.
Well, of course.
And so that was, the whole thing that I didn't want to be pigeonholed into. I didn't want to be pigeonholed into a character or a storyline that was to fulfill a role, which is essentially what happened. Yeah. And that's why, 13 years later, I was like, I think I'm done here.
Yeah, but how many reality stars last 13 years?
Yeah.
Which is crazy, phenomenal. Right? Oh, and they're still going. I mean, the other girls are still on it. So I'm like, collect your check. If you guys are happy and you guys are fine, like, collect your check as long as you can.
Yeah, because most don't make it that
retirement. No, essentially, they're just getting a retirement check now. Like, as long as they're going to pay us, we'll keep showing up. Like, yeah. You don't get flow of money like that. I mean, forever. Just don't, they ain't
and that's what really kept me going for as long as I did. It was just like, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
You're so smart with that, man.
Do your kids ask questions, or do they look at episodes, or like?
I don't let them watch it yet. Okay. I think as they get older and they have questions about certain things, and I know that something isn't skewed or it was, it was presented exactly how it happened, I would let them watch that. And at some point, I'm not going to have any control. Okay. But like right now, they just know that we were on the show, and they know that they were on TV, but they don't really know. Like
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's what I'm saying. I like knowing this version. You don't really care about the past. You know what I mean?
That was. Well, when I met you, it was kind of, I don't want to say at the peak, but it was.
It was close. Yeah. It was like, I think just after the peak, I would say. And so, because they followed our move to Delaware
and being in
the military, in the gym, and that was something I wanted them to film, and they just didn't really do what I
remember when
wanted.
People at the gym were being all like, oh my God, she's like, Kail Lowry's here, Team Mom, blah, blah. I remember my first thought was like, fuck this bitch. Fucking team.
I'm about to work. She's about to get fucking work.
Mom. And then I did like some fundamentals with you. I'm like, damn, she's pretty nice.
You were my favorite coach right off the bat, so that makes me sad.
I remember what.
Because I'm like, you hated me and I loved you.
No, but once I actually spoke to you, I didn't say I hate you, but I'm just kind of like,
like rolling your eyes.
This is going to be fucking terrible. But that's why you don't judge a book by its cover.
There was another coach that I really loved, Rob.
Oh yeah, he left a long time ago. But Rob from Jersey, like the kind of shorter, like stocky guy.
No, he's tall, white guy.
Oh, Rob Easton. Yeah, he's a teacher now.
Oh, he is? I loved him too. Yeah. But I got like dad vibes from him. Like I felt like I got daddy issues. Like, like I could be my dad.
No, daddy issues.
Rob
I had mommy issues.
Amazing. Yeah,
he was a good guy.
Rob,
I really liked him.
Turbo Dog. Yeah.
Turbo Dog.
No, he's a good. He still comes there. He's not a coach anymore, but he still comes there though.
Okay.
I do have a question. This I did ask my wife. I said, hey, why don't you ask your wife, and I'll ask my wife, like, questions from a woman's point of view that maybe a fan would like to ask.
Yeah.
But she said, let me think about it. She were in bed, and she said, I'd like to know, how did she learn, like, financial literacy, like, just from herself? Does she have any guidance? You know what I mean? Like,
So I always talk about this now because I feel like it's so important. So in the NFL, right, like when they are about to sign their contract or they already signed their contract, they do a whole financial literacy thing with the families included with the athlete because people are going to ask them for money and things like that. Nope.
Nothing.
Yeah, we didn't even know that we had to file our own taxes and pay taxes out of the money that we were paid.
Ouch.
None of us. Maybe one or two girls knew because of their families,
Okay.
So there was a time, probably when I got married to Javi, we had our big wedding. I had no idea that I owed money to the to the IRS. I had no fucking clue. So I had to back pay like $50,000.
Yeah.
And when you're 19 years old and you have to back pay $50,000, what the fuck are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. Well, you do episode 2 and then,
so I just kept filming and I would take what I would like use to live to pay my, cause I didn't want to be in a situation where like I had to like get on a payment plan or whatever. So like my next whole paychecks were going directly to the IRS because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. It wasn't until the last 5 years that I got, you know, my trust fund, my 401k, my SEP plan, you know, all of this stuff, paid my kids, you know, 5 years. So all the money up until 5 years ago, I have nothing to show for.
Well, I think I heard something a while back. I don't know, it was a podcast or something. You say your first check was $5,000
for 16 and pregnant,
and you just bought a car.
Yeah, I didn't have. I don't have a car. That was before taxes. They didn't take taxes out of that. I got $5,000 for 16 and was.
So you really only had $3,000.
I really only had $3,000, and I would think I was working at like Sports Authority, which is like Dick's, you know, like Dick's Sporting Goods. Just isn't that crazy?
That is so wild.
That's a $50,000 payday. You only gotta learn that lesson once. You know, man.
I never owed the IRS ever again. Yeah. I'll tell you that. But it took me a long time, and I just
a long time.
What in the world?
Did you have people? Do you have vultures approach you as you kind of grew?
Right? Hey, nobody in my family. Shockingly, nobody in my family has ever asked me like for a dime, except for my dad.
I'm thinking more of like, hey, you should open up some chain restaurants. You know, I think that's what gets NFL players all the time, like bad restaurant deals, like stuff like that. Like, do you have anybody approach like that?
That's shocking.
I've had like friends ask to borrow money, or there's actually a photographer in Delaware who has a lot of children and asked me for $3,000. Told me she would pay me back when she get her taxes back. Mm-hmm. Never.
Get rid of a friend.
She never talked to me again.
Yeah.
And you gave it to her.
I did.
What the fuck?
Well, you learned. Did you give anybody else $3,000? No, probably not.
Probably.
I mean, you probably. Probably.
I learned that lesson a couple times.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just because you want to see the good in people and you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Sure. And if I was down bad, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, that is a tough spot because you know you have it. And, you know, if it's for something good, it's not like her. I know she's not blowing it on drugs.
Well, she has a lot of kids, so I was like, oh my God, like I can't leave these kids high and dry.
It's not for her. It's like, look, she'll use it.
That's what she said. She's like, my daughter has this. And I was like, oh, like she can't miss out on that.
I would rather just say, hey, look, pay me back. Don't pay me back. You know, it'll come back around sometime. Here, I'm going to give it to you. Let's not worry about that. But at the time,
I didn't know that. Yeah. Now, if I'm going to like, I know if I'm lending someone money, that's a gift.
Yeah.
If someone needs money, like I know now that it's not coming back.
I'm sure people saw it on TV like, she's got to be millions. She's famous now.
I just read an article about myself yesterday about my mansion, and I said, what mansion? Like,
it is a pretty nice house.
I'm thankful that but it's not a mansion. And I'm like, wow, like these people really think that I have, a mansion in Delaware? Like
you don't even have a basement.
Harley? I don't even have a basement, Jerry.
If you bought a mansion in Delaware, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? This is Delaware. You're safe.
You're like, we're not even at the beach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just had a conversation with a realtor last night. I was like, why the fuck did people buy like over $1 million houses and with a third of some of these houses in Smyrna are $700,000, $800,000.
In Camden, it was like, it's like 1 acre. I put an offer in on it and it has 1 acre. And I was like, I can't even put a pole barn on that.
Yeah. No. It sounds like we're going to build a pole barn. Yeah. You build a podcast room. We do something. We make it comfy.
Lincoln wants a training facility. He wants like AstroTurf, the whole nine, so that he can do like all his stuff.
He's going to go to the NFL. I hope so.
Well, now he's like NBA, NFL. I'm like, Lincoln, you're probably going to be 5'7".
Yeah.
So he's going to be a long snapper.
Okay? Just tell him to enjoy the journey.
I love it now.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh, that reminds me.
You want him to fall if he doesn't make it. You want him to fall on the next best thing. He has to learn to chase something now.
Oh yeah, but you know what? There's so many opportunities in sports with like coaching, training. There's so many opportunities. So
you don't have to.
He'll be fine.
And some people learn that. Some people learn they're not the player. They're the engineer.
Okay, with the wisdom, the metaphors.
So
that's what I do.
I did listen to your episode with I can't remember her name now.
Great man,
Kristen,
the one that's married to the NFL player.
Oh, Allison. Yeah. He just got released from the Raiders.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Damn it!
And it was like 4 weeks before they have their baby.
So that
sounds like a tough business, man.
He'll get picked up probably.
Yeah. I think so.
Be here, there tomorrow. Well,
he got released the exact same day from the Browns the year prior. Yeah. I think he said it was like November 14th or something, and I was like, damn, cancel this day for this man.
You know what? I would like to talk to an NFL wife and be like, how do you hold that together?
You have to listen
If you listen to the podcast, she talks, and if you follow her on TikTok or just like watch her videos, they talk about it.
That's what I loved about it. I love hearing that side.
I'd like to talk to one. You know what I mean? Damn, Jerry. But I would. It's such a. When you watch like they always show the guy, and I'm like, but what is the wife? Like that's got to be like when I watched the Beckham one.
Victoria Beckham and
I was like, damn. She was like, how many times she was like, we're fucking moving again. Mm-hmm. She's like, I just built this life, and as you get older, like the kids, and then they come a priority. You're like, fuck, man, like.
Well, that's what Allison was saying on her TikTok recently. She's like, we're 3 weeks away from giving birth to our first child, and we're moving.
It's probably so tough.
And they're already living half in Las Vegas and half in Texas, right?
Yeah.
And they had a doctor in each.
And then
town.
their families are from Michigan.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Like, it's crazy.
And how long does a wife? I mean, obviously, this is going to be. Each scenario is different, but how long until you look at the passion? Like, all right, how long are you going to chase this dream until we keep getting moved around? Like,
unless you're like the Brett Favre,
honestly, you know what I mean. But like, as most players go,
still make
$450. I think is the bare minimum for. If so, it's still great money if you're on practice squad.
I mean, I can't. We didn't talk about finances, but based on what I've seen, I think there's still, like even practice squad is getting like.
I think it's $450. I think
it's thousands.
Yeah,
so
I think
like,
it's a league minimum $450.
How do you say no?
Yeah,
it doesn't last
again
forever.
To my point, about the show is like once in a lifetime. Like you're not practice squad or not. I mean, you're better than most people. So
most wives are going to ride or die on that, and I'd imagine like none of them are working as far as like they're like, look, you chase it, I'll hold it down here. So I imagine there's a lot of strong NFL wives just on that level.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things she spoke a lot about was like, hey, I'm going to be supportive. Like I know this can't last forever. It can end tomorrow. Yeah. And then, trying to be smart with their money. And I remember when she talked about how, like, the whole financial literacy thing, how the league really tries to set them up and to, like, not fail.
Yeah.
That's always been a problem with these NFL guys that come from nothing. Then they're broke. Because they get paychecks. It's not like you get a lump sum of money. It's you get a paycheck on a Monday or Tuesday morning.
For the season.
Yeah, well, like every week, right? Yeah. But
just even like lump sums, you're like, what the hell do I do with this?
And then when the season's over, you're not getting that paycheck anymore. So what'd you do with the money you had?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you got to be smart.
Yeah.
In taxes.
I mean, I'm so thankful I had a financial advisor when COVID hit because I invested all my kids' money, but he was still able to get like a 24-25% return after COVID. So I was like, but had I not known that and had I not had like taken upon myself to do that, like what do these NFL players do? What these athletes? They're getting paid money.
A lot of them talk about how much they blow it. You know what I mean? Try to live that life.
There was a documentary a while back on that. NFL players that have like lost a lot of money, and like they talked about what they were spending it on is just junk.
You think it's going to keep coming?
Their friends, you're on my payroll.
A lot of entourage. It's something like a lot of the entourage. Keeping up with the parties and
whatever happened to Manziel?
Johnny Manziel?
Yeah, whatever happened to him? So wasn't he doing some wild shit?
He had a documentary come out. And
did?
Yeah. It's actually a good documentary, and it kind of showcases that. I don't think that he was in love with football. I think he loved
the party scene.
I think he loved. I think he loved the arena and the attention. And he was a hell of an athlete who could just show up and fucking perform that day, hungover or not.
Right.
But I think you gotta get the sense of like, well, he didn't love the game. He wasn't disciplined. He's kind of an asshole.
Got it.
Okay. So that's kind of his thing. So because he doesn't seem like remorseful about being like. I think you learn as a spectator. It was harder for us to watch him, what we think blow a big opportunity, which I don't think for him was just like, man, I think some people are so, he was like, I think he was never a goal. It's just like, man, I guess I'm this good. I'll just keep going as it keeps coming to me. And then eventually, couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's like a scary position to be in. You know what I mean? And you could think that you don't come from anything. You could easily fall into that.
Oh, I have.
Easily, very easily. Like, thank God I didn't have money when I was in my 20s, because it would have been the same fucking thing. I would have blew it.
All the brand deals that I was getting when they started, like companies started to pivot into influencers and, people that have a social social media presence. Mm-hmm. They started pivoting, like FabFitFun, would pay me to do deals, and I just wouldn't do it.
Dang.
Just wouldn't do it.
You regret that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Because now I'm like, I love doing my brand deals. Like, I love, if I got a deal with FabFitFun now, they just booked Khloe Kardashian. You know what I mean? But when they started,
yeah,
what the hell was I doing?
Dang.
Yeah, you could have been one of those ones that like, hey, we're just starting. We'll give you shares. You know what I mean? You could have missed like, you ever heard a dude's missing out on that? Like, I could have got like Jordan talks about, like, he got shares of Nike. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Fab Fabletics, like all these big deals, and I just dropped the ball.
Shout out to Fabletics and all of the yoga pant games. I'm glad I'm not in high school anymore. Cause I'm like, damn,
I don't even know what that is.
It's like yoga pant. It's like workout.
Lulu. Like that?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
which actually I used to always kind of make fun of Lulu until I bought Lulu shorts.
Are they really good?
Underwear.
I haven't bought them yet.
Fuck yeah.
Because the girls love them, but they're so expensive.
It is dumb
for
expensive.
like one pair of these leggings for girls is like $100.
Yeah. Oh, I got a 3-pack of boxers, and it was like $80.
These are Amazon leggings, and I'm like,
I did get them for free. I didn't pay for them.
I was about to say, dude, I ain't spending $80 on something.
They're not that much better than like a Nike boxer.
Yeah,
they're not that considered, but like normal clothes, the shorts, like the gym shorts for men, are so comfortable.
That's how I feel about Fabletics.
I used to be a big what do you call it? When you don't wear underwear?
Free baller.
Free ball. I was a big free baller back in the day. Oh, yeah, Commando, dude. I was all about it.
Commando.
Just rolling out, man. You know what I mean? A little butt crack hanging out, letting it air out.
Fine.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, I feel like that fits your aesthetic. Like, that's your, like, you're doing basements, you're doing roofs, like a little butt crack is like your aesthetic.
That is, Rihanna says shit all the time. She's like, you know, your butt crack's hanging out. I'm like, oh, I feel the draft. But like, I gotta get this trim up. I ain't got time to pull his pants up. Cause you get the, like, I get my belt on and everything. It just starts slowly pulling everything down.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and you know what? Give a little show. You know what I mean?
People pay big money for that.
Look, you gotta work with what you got.
You have to.
Gotta make the people happy.
I'm working it hard in there. I need the people to look. You know, say, you know what? I appreciate this guy. Got a little crack hanging out. You know what I mean?
So we're in here, you know, dude, dadding it up. What do you think of our studio, by the way?
I love it. It's very you.
Yeah, very you. Yeah.
I didn't know you before I met you.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
So
don't worry.
Dumb. But typically it very much is like on brand for like how
you would think it would be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So one thing we don't ever hear about is your dad.
Because I don't have one.
Well, you do have a dad.
Yeah, I have one.
So run that one back.
Okay. Well, I met Raymond on.
Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond. I met him on national television. So we were filming 16 and Pregnant. His sister. So I've been looking for my dad my whole life. My mom, you guys, I kind of gave you like a little rundown about my mom. Yeah. So I was like, oh, my dad's just working because he's going to come save me. Like, you know, at some point he's going to show up here on my doorstep and he's going to take me away and he's going to, you know, he's just working really hard. That's what I had in my head.
Okay.
So oddly enough, and I think it's just a coincidence that I got pregnant in May. In August of 2009, his sister reached out to me on Facebook. And she was like, I have been looking for you your whole life. I got approved to have custody of you because your dad did not get approved when your parents split. I would love to meet you and things like that. And I said, listen, like, I'm truly not in that place right now, but if you take me to meet my dad, I will meet you. And little did I know that she was the person that was going to come on my doorstep and like save me from everything. She was the one that I should have been looking for the whole time, but I didn't know anything about her.
Yeah,
right.
So she was like, okay, I'll make it happen. She paid for me to go to Texas. And I ended up going Thanksgiving of 2009. And, my dad, she was like, your dad's going to pick you up from the airport and then I'll pick you up from his house.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Not saying weird, but like the first way to meet, like, hey, he's going to pick you up later.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I could go back, it should have been like they were meeting me together.
Yeah.
But I think their relationship was a little weird.
Okay. So
my dad picks me up from the airport, cameras rolling for 16 and Pregnant. And I was like, oh, wow. The first thing I said was like, you're shorter than I thought you were. Jerry asked me before we started rolling. He was like, were you nice to him? And I was like, no, I could have been nicer. But and my mom told me, like, don't go in there with expectations. Like, do not have expectations.
Yeah.
But I did.
Yeah.
And, he's just, you know, he told me he was like a bull rider or whatever. He's like missing
Shut
teeth.
the fuck up.
Had a mullet.
Bull rider?
Yeah.
What was his belt buckle game like?
Come on.
Belt buckle?
I don't remember.
No,
I was so focused on the fact that I'm like a fucking Amazon and my dad's 5'7".
So did your dad like roll through town and knock up your mom?
So
She a buckle bunny.
My mom
was a buckle bunny.
What is that?
Buckle Bunny?
Yeah.
Like the girls that go after bull riders?
Oh, probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, the story I got was like my mom was kind of like a black sheep, and she was just like, after she graduated high school, she's like, I gotta go live my life. And she somehow made her way from Florida, like Pennsylvania to Florida to Texas, and like ended up on this ranch with my dad. Like met him on some random ranch. Got married. Divorced, never heard from my dad again, and then the judge actually annulled their marriage. So they weren't really ever married.
And he was aware of you.
Yeah, he was aware of me, which is weird because I'm like, how do you just leave your flesh and blood to just like fend for themselves? Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Knowing my mother, like you knew my mom's vices, right? Like you knew her struggles, you knew her addiction, and you just left us high and dry.
Does he have like issues or like he's just wasn't there?
He just wasn't there. Yeah. But so I guess when they split, he went back to Texas. And so that's why there was such a separation. It was like my mom was in Pennsylvania, my dad was in Texas. So it wasn't like I could just like run into him. Yeah. And so when I met him, I was just like, what in the world? I mean, their stories, oddly enough, are very similar. So there's no shock there, but, I just asked him, I was like, why didn't you look for me? And he was like, well, she wasn't going to let me see you. So I knew you'd come find me. And as a parent, I'm just like, I can't, you're the adult. Yeah. You're the adult. I'm not the adult.
That was a cheap way out.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It feels like
very cowboyish.
And I think my dad just kind of did and does whatever he can to get by, but just enough to get by. He never is going to go above and beyond. Okay. That's just not who he is.
Have you talked to him since?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah. Did you have like a whole list of questions you want to fire at him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had so many questions.
Did he answer all of them?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was nice to me. Yeah. I had an attitude the whole time.
Did he apologize or apologetic, like, demeanor?
Yeah. Yeah. But just like, that's not enough.
And what was the exit like?
Like, got it. That's it.
Like, hey, all right, well, I guess I won't see or I do. I don't.
Pretty much. It was exactly that. It was, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not like, okay, let's just change numbers. Let's try to, maybe every 6 months we could.
No. Absolutely not.
There was no effort with that.
No. It was exactly what you just described.
Did you like fist bump when he left or something?
Probably. You know what? And my mom had shut off my cell phone service when I went. So I actually didn't have a cell phone service. And, I was pregnant. So I didn't know it was a son at the time, but my son's dad's dad overnighted me a phone so I could get in contact with my aunt so she could come get me, his sister. Yeah. And I spent the rest of the trip there with her. So she picked me up the next day and I never saw my dad again.
Did you have like a big, like, fuck it, it's me, guess the world, fuck it, like, I've met him.
Yeah, I guess I
think I still have those moments, like right now, like 31 years old, I still have that. Yeah. But, it was kind of like, wow, this is absolutely nothing that I expected it to be. And, my mom was right to not have expectations.
Yeah. Are you still close with that aunt, or do you still communicate with her?
We communicate on Facebook. Yeah. And if I have anything to text her about, I'll like text her, but not super contact.
Hey, how's your brother doing?
No.
So she tried to give it a shot for y'all. She cared.
Yeah. I mean, it was her that I was really, she would have been my dad. She would have been my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
So and that's why, like, and we had talked off camera when we did Barely Famous. Mm-hmm. My dad passed away. He was killed in an accident when I was 22. And I remember thinking, like, well, that sucks, right? It's obviously a terrible tragedy because my dad was great. Mm-hmm. But I also could be like, well, you know what? I know there's people that wish they had like the dad I did for 22 years, right? Like,
yeah, but that doesn't make it hurt any less.
It doesn't, but you have to play the games with your mind to make yourself not go crazy. Yeah. And you also have to be appreciative too. Yeah. Right? Like, whatever my dad's job was, it was done in 22 years. Whatever that means, I don't fucking know. But it apparently was done in 22 years. Mm-hmm. Someone else had made that decision. And it does suck. But, like, at least I had that. At least I didn't have what you had. Sure. That's fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Not that you're not doing okay. You're fine. And all that. Yeah. Because we're all fine. Yeah, we all get fine with our situation.
Okay.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. But, like, there's always the thing in the back of your mind. Dad. And I don't know if you do this, like, right now, like, we'll hit milestone. Jerry, shot his first deer, right? The other day. Huge daddy-son moment. And, like, I'll try not to, like, tear up. But like, oh, God, I wish I could
share it with your dad.
Right? And then, this is where, like, I might cry. Jerry goes, because he knows, we talk about my dad. Yeah. Jerry goes, man, if your dad was here, he'd be so proud of me.
Stop. I have chills.
That's
How do you not like?
And you're like, yeah. So you're you're fucking right. He would, dude. And you just like, I'm so glad that he said that too, because like that means
he knows,
he's thinking,
and you're doing everything that you can to have your dad's legacy.
He lives on. Exactly.
Oh, I love that so much.
But like,
but you know what? That's how I feel about my grandfather.
Yeah.
My grandfather, they couldn't take custody of me because they were too old, but like my grandparents played a huge role in who I am, you know, now, not my teenage years. I can't fault them for that, but that's who I remember. My grandfather was like a father figure to me. So
like you get like so intentionally thankful for like, nobody has enough time.
Yeah.
It's intentionally thankful for everything. And it's why like now is what it helped, right? So when my grandfather passed away, because he was old in his 80s a few years ago, and it sucked, sad, like super close to him, but it's like, that's not a tragedy. Like I had a pup up for 80
but it still is.
It is, but it's not a tragedy too. Like he knew his great grandkids and all those things. So like it sucks, but then you're like, you know what? That's pretty fucking awesome. We're all heading there.
Yeah.
We're all heading the same place.
Yeah.
There's definitely different ways to lose your father. They all suck.
Yeah.
Like yours was sudden, right? Mine had got on drugs, so I slowly lost them
before you
lost them. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Which one's worse? Which one's bad?
I don't think there's no.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like
different.
Yeah, just different. Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing. Like, and your dad is out there.
I wasn't surprised.
Probably.
I wasn't surprised when it happened. You know what I mean? Like that fucking sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
I just wonder if
I was waiting for that call.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about my mom.
That's terrible.
I knew. Like I used to get calls, not often, but like they would come at weird hours, very late at night, like 2, 3 in the morning, and my dad would be like just saying crazy shit, or like just asking crazy stuff, and or calling some of my buddies looking for me, or asking them.
That's
for crazy
literally
shit.
my mother.
Yeah, and like I just knew, but when I got that call like 4:30 in the morning,
you just
I was like,
had a gut feeling.
Oh, I knew. I was like, when I heard my mom, like I heard the phone pick up, and that right there, I was like, I know what's coming.
Ugh.
I was like, which one is it? And then my mom spoke. I was like, my dad's dead, and she was like, your dad's dead. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So immediately got on the computer, let my brother know who was living in Burma, and he was like, all right. You know what I mean? Just because he had just had my niece was, I think, or the second niece was just born, I think. So
yeah,
it was like great fucking timing, and it was Father's Day, so shout out.
Do you have like a complex with Father's Day now?
No, I use it as a joke. So everyone knows. So like my one buddy Stuart's like, don't even fucking say it. So I'm like, are you guys enjoying Father's Day today? I'm like, I make dark jokes out.
I do too. But also,
that's
all the therapy stuff is the way you do.
I'll make fun of it. Whatever, man.
Yeah,
like as you said, he knocked it out in all the years before, and before he got on drugs, he knocked it out. We were good. Everything I needed, he said it. We're good to go.
That's
the only thing I wish is the same thing that I'd wish when I was growing up, that I could have met my dad's dad and kind of seen, like, you learn more about who you are. Like, Macon could have seen my dad, and I think it's like instilling, like, okay, this is more of like getting feel the legacy, So getting more like.
Also, you understand your parents better when you understand how they were raised. I think that's like another piece of it that we're all missing. Yeah,
that's what I definitely missed too. I was like, I'd like to ask him some questions. I was just like,
I just want to know why my mom is the way she is, but also like my grandparents are saints, so I don't know.
I was just like, when my kids being wild, like, what was I like? What did you do? What did you do? My wild ass was doing this shit. Like,
that's.
I'd like to ask some of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you? How often does your mom reach out to you?
I haven't talked to my mom since she called me in 2019.
Oh, it's just been a minute.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess I know I was pregnant with my fourth son. She called me and I said, listen, if you call me tomorrow and you're sober, I'll come get you. You can come here, you can stay with me, but you got to call me when you're sober. Never got the call.
Gotcha. Hey, I do have a question. It's maybe something else, whatever. With the twins, so how are you prepping now? And what do you think you'll do differently? Like, what knowledge you're going to bring now? Like, are you like, I'm going to do this different? I'm going to prepare for this now? Like what knowledge are you bringing now?
I'm hoping that my kids will. So Rio's one, and the twins. I'm hoping they don't know what the chaotic not sitting down with the family for dinner is.
Okay.
Like, I'm hoping that's like this thing that they've had since they were born. You know, the only knowledge or wisdom that I've gotten so far when it comes to twins is to feed them at the same time. So like at night, when in the middle of the night, when one wakes up to eat, wake up the other one too. Okay. Because otherwise, you're gonna wake one up. Or one's going to wake up, you're going to feed them, and then they're going to go back to bed, and then an hour later, the next one's going to wake up.
Okay.
And if they're eating every 2 to 3 hours, you're basically going to be up every hour. So that's been like the biggest advice that people give me is feed them at the same time.
I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, she's got to wake up, take care of all by herself.
Well, Elijah's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he'll get some,
cross up, you need some help. You know what I mean?
The dude dad's coming over to
wrangle some kids,
wrangle some babies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
Available.
But yeah, so I think that's like the biggest advice that I've gotten so far. So we'll see how it goes.
You got a room set up?
No, they're gonna be in my room because I don't have enough bedrooms at this point.
We gotta get a house. New house.
Buy a big enough mansion.
I didn't build a big enough mansion in Dover.
What kind of mansion did you get? You know
5,000 square feet wasn't enough.
It's not enough. 5,000. All right.
That's not enough. I would have never.
Who's cleaning this shit?
They're there actually right now. The cleaners. So when I went over there, I was like, sorry, I got to grab something.
Oh gosh. Cleaners.
Yeah.
Do you let them do your laundry?
I have someone else do my laundry.
Someone else.
That's the one, like, you know how when people are budgeting and they're like, just cut out this or cut out that? I'm like, okay, that's great. And I will do all those things, but I'm budgeting so that someone else can do laundry because could you imagine doing laundry for a family of 9?
Dude.
Everybody's wearing the same clothes like 3 days in a row.
That I'm saying family of 9 because now Elijah lives with me is like 9 people in one house and we all have to do laundry. Like, no.
You need multiple loads. You need more washers.
I will literally sell my soul. Like, if you see me on the corner ever, it's not for drugs. It's so that someone else can do my laundry.
Yeah.
And if you can do it, it's worth it because that time that you get back from not having to do all that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. Definitely a good investment.
So is there services just like you leave a bag out and they bring it back folded?
So yes, and I've done that in the past, but because there's so many kids now, that even became too much. I sound so fucking tone deaf right now, and I'm not. But yeah, I used to do that service. Now I have someone at the house do the laundry.
Okay.
So that it just stays there because there's just too many. It would be like 15 bags of stuff.
And you know what? You don't want the creepy guy sniffing your underwear. You don't know what's happening.
Also that. I mean,
I was going to bring that
just
up.
How do you... We're going to start selling this on the side. I'm going to get some more panties.
I've heard on TikTok people do that.
Oh.
They like put it in a vacuum seal bag and like sell it.
Yeah.
So, hey, by the way.
I might not have to get on the
I think it's big in Japan.
Fuck the brand deal. We'll start selling some panties.
Perfect.
These were worn one time.
Look, we're gonna initiate a brand. You're going to be our ambassador.
Okay. Yes. Perfect. I'll be the face of the company.
Probably get good money.
Pre-worn panties. What celebrity would you like to smell? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, what's the actress who has the candle? Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever smelled the candle?
I haven't. I've seen it, and she talked about it, but I haven't. I
wonder
smelled
what
it.
Is that on Amazon? Because I'll order that next time we come in here.
I don't know.
What does Gwyneth Paltrow's?
Was it like off of hers, or was it just like a blanket smell, like an average smell?
I don't know. How do you get a scientist to come up with that smell?
Right.
You know, do you
bottle it up?
Do you do swabs?
Really
what if it wasn't a good smell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to like take the average.
Post gym, pre-shower, post shower. What are we talking here?
I can't. Gwyneth was not onto something with that. I can't.
But you know, there's weirdos out there.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, I can't wait to just get this.
I did an interview with Aubrey O'Day, and at the end of the episode, which I cut and put only online because the shit that she told me about this sex story that she told me was off the fucking wall. So I only put it online. I didn't put it in the regular episode, but I was like,
because it was that vulgar.
It was that crazy.
Okay, this is one of her sex stories.
Yeah, like somebody that what they wanted to do with her, and I was like, oh, I can't put this on air.
I could do a good one of those. I even warned Candace one day we could do something like that. Like if we did the walkthrough Dewey. I have so
What
many.
is the walkthrough Dewey?
I would like to do a walkthrough, like grab is Dewey still open?
I can't remember. Open container.
Someone was telling me it might have changed. Yeah. So typically Dewey, off season, you can walk down the street with a beer bottle. keg. We used to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was thinking that he and I would grab the cameras and go down memory lane. I have so many memories in Dewey that we could literally walk the streets and I could point at different spots and tell you crazy ass stories. And some of those are just
do that
stories.
for your social media for this podcast.
Yeah.
You know where Charlotte was conceived?
In Dewey?
No, University of Delaware, behind Deer Park.
What in the world?
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes you gotta run out. You know what I mean?
Two of my kids were conceived in cars, so I can't.
That's what we were at Deer Park dancing. What Mama said was playing, and I was like, "Yeah, you want to go sneak outside?"
And she was like,
and she was just like, and we walked. You ever been there, Deer Park?
I know where it is. I haven't been there, but I know where it is.
We're upstairs. You walk down like a little switchback stairs, whatever. I just remember her like she had my hand, and like we walked out. We just left, kind of like scoot around behind the building. Little quickie, right there.
Like you're like 5 weeks later, we're pregnant.
There wasn't even like a bush we hid by. It was like wide open.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing like some stairs and like a handrail.
But isn't it crazy that like we could have gotten arrested for the places that we've had sex and
I'm just glad the iPhone was not out during holidays or wasn't good.
I don't even think camera phones were a thing for me.
I'd have been in so much trouble.
You know what? I think this was after. Remember that girl?
I was kicked off. I had so much fun. I got kicked off campus.
Jesus Christ.
Kicked off. I was not allowed on campus, but to go to class. And I lived in.
Everybody, put down your fun. Stop having fun.
I know it was 6 pages long. She looked right at me. She said, "Sign that. You're off campus." I said, "I can't even argue with this shit." And then that was the end of my junior year, right before finals. I had to move all my shit out into McCall's van, and then the following year, I lived in a Winnebago, 40-foot Winnebago.
Is that a van?
That's like an RV. The Winnebago.
Why did you live in that?
Look, so it wasn't planned, but the universe planned it. But I blew all my money down at Dewey. Thad blew all his money. He was actually kicked off campus, I think, like our sophomore year, our freshman year. It was early, and so I called him like, "Hey, man, I blew all my money down here at the beach." He's like, "Yeah, I drank all mine up here." I was like, "Well, where the fuck we living?" You know what I mean? I'm like,
but like you couldn't go home.
Football camp starts in a couple weeks, dog. Like, what are we doing? He's like, "Man, my grandparents have like a 40-foot Winnebago." I was like, "You sandbagging son of a bitch! I'll see you up there." And we pulled it up. we pulled it behind the trainer's house. And the first night, someone came and lit a big fucking bonfire that was like over on another neighbor's yard. They lit on fire. So the trainer's like, "You got to move the Winnebago now." And so we literally just pulled it straight forward to Rory's house, who he owned a bar that was on campus. We parked it, literally we leveled it off because it's West Virginia, so it's massive hills. So we leveled it off on 2 cornhole boards, and it could only drive forward. It had no reverse. We pulled it up. We had one shot, pulled it up.
Is this real?
This is very real. I swear to goodness.
Tom's lived several lives.
Several. I have, yeah. And so. And we ran a cord. We ran a cord out of Rory's house for electric, so that we could run the TV and the microwave. We did not have heat.
Can you shower in a Winnebago?
We did not shower in a Winnebago. Well, yeah, you could have done a lot of things in this thing, but we couldn't. We didn't have it set up.
So like
I had all the athletic buildings. I had
okay.
I used to go into the men's visiting locker room, which is typically used for the men's visiting basketball team, and I would go in there. There's like 40 shower heads. I'd turn them on. You get endless hot water. I'd turn every shower head on. I'd be naked, just running around. I have my own. You know what I mean? Like I made the most out of
your
shit.
Best life.
Best life.
That's the best memories.
I did not have that college experience.
I did that in college. He lived in a camper van.
Yeah.
For
I remember he told me
the better part of 4 years up in Connecticut.
Well, how the hell are our kids going to be able to afford to like live on campus? Because they're not. They're going to be living in, but they're going to live in my Suburban on campus.
Big time anti-college, so hopefully,
trade schools like Votech.
Trade school, Votech. Be self-employed, something.
We have a whole podcast on that one. That was a good one.
We did talk about that. And now, if you want to be a doctor,
I'm with you. I did a podcast on it.
You're not going to be business major in college. You don't need that.
I'm very much for meeting friends, the experience. Like, there's just nothing like. There's, and I mean college, like living on campus, not like community. Like go to a college, live on campus. It's like it's the best time.
I didn't have that. I went to college, but I didn't have that experience. I get that, like living on your own, but also to your point, like I also feel that way. So I have like mixed feelings on it.
Are you?
I also ran a bar when I lived in Winnebago. I got shut down by town council for running an illegal bar. Like people threw house parties, but I
served them.
I served them. We had it's West Virginia. There's a lot of country music playing at every party. I was like, look guys, love y'all, love the country music, but I need some rap up in here. I need the girls to shake the ass. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be doing the
honky tonk trap music right now.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, I need a girl. And so my buddy has an old Victorian house, and it has a basement down there, and it has a ton of shit in there from everyone that's ever lived there. I was like, look, spot me some money, and I'll turn this place into a big-ass bar. And I did. I took everything in the house. I washed all the walls, got the mold out, everything, got it all cleaned up.
Mold out.
Yeah. And I bought black drapes from Walmart, and I put it all around the perimeter, so I blacked out all the walls. And then I bought neon, like, paint. I made murals and stuff that would glow in the dark. I had black lights everywhere.
Oh, this was like a legit bar.
Oh, yeah. I think it was about 9 foot. I had a 9-foot bar. So downstairs, I had a smoke room, so you go in and smoke weed. So like, it had a trash can, so like people would blunt. Yeah.
Well, West VU was like, or WVU was like one of the biggest party schools.
That's all we did.
Is that where you went?
No, it was like an hour north there. I call it West Liberty. And, and then upstairs was like the normal party house stuff, like, like
a frat house type deal.
Yeah, kind of like, we had, like the, beer pong and all that shit. You good? We good? Okay. Beer pong. So like I would have 2 kegs upstairs, probably 2 kegs downstairs, and then I'd have a whole menu for drinks. So usually I had like 5 drinks, mixed drinks that you could get. And I'd go down by every single shit rail there was. And I'd have a mixed drink for $2 and I'd have shots for $1.
Oh, you made money.
Oh, we made money. And, because Thad also needed help paying rent. I was like, bro, we're going to make money from this. Cause my brother also ran what was called the
Thad was your brother?
No, Thad was my boy, in college. That was my, PIC. And, but my brother was also in, he was at UD and he ran a bar called the Pterodactyl Lounge. And I kind of stole from his idea. And I would go so I'd go to the training room. I'd steal every cup there was. I'd steal all the ice. I'd go to the cafeteria, steal all the food, whatever I needed, took it all. And then we'd buy all the kegs. I'd get all the liquor, and it was $5 to get in the house if you were a guy. If you weren't like, well, I ain't drinking, I'm like, whatever, it was $5
Yeah.
I got talent up in this thing. Like, bro, you want to get in here, you know what I mean? So the first night, someone got hit in the head with a brick. Yeah. Someone got hit in the head with a brick. I was like, fuck, man, we need some bouncers. So I hired my lineman. One of my linemen did not drink. So he went around the house. So I'd hire him for the night. He would walk around and make sure people didn't get too out of control. That was Ralph Petrella, shout out. And then, I had another, lineman. He would work the door and he would handle the money. And then I had Pee Wee. Pee Wee would help me behind the bar, and he would also collect money as it was getting too much to handle to kind of control how much was kind of going around. And
this story is better than the show Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched that show? It's and there's actually a guy named Thad on that show.
But he's so dead serious about it.
And, so I would, if $1 shot, $2 for a mixed drink. And,
I say you bring it back. I think
I'd run that bitch back real quick. And then,
maybe once or twice a year, throwback party.
I will tell you that, the parties were getting really big. And the townies started coming out. Like, people started driving up from Wheeling. So like the parking lots anywhere at the church parking lot.
Busted.
Oh yeah, the town council had to send us a letter like, shut it the fuck down. And, because one of the last parties, were, Thad's had some crazy ass ex-girlfriend who showed up. So we throw the party, we count the money. I think that night we made like $1,200, right? And I was like, back then I was like balling. I was like, take it all, Thad. It's like your house. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to party. You know what I mean? I'm here to, collect. And, so it's all calm. I leave the house. I'm like, you good? It's probably like 4 a.m. I'm like, you good? I'm like, he's got a girl next to him. I'm like, I'll get out of here. I'll see you. I walk down to the training room the next day to get ready for practice, and I see Thad. He's got bandages in the back of his head and on his back. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you?
He got robbed.
He did not get robbed. So his crazy ex-girlfriend, and when I left, she was already en route from Ohio. She drove to Ohio, She pulls up. Thad's out there knocking out a girl, right? They're upstairs in his room.
Oh, knocking out.
Yeah.
Okay, not knocking out. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha,
No, she's
gotcha.
not,
I'm tracking.
hitting her. No. So he's having sex with this girl. She kicks through. It's a solid wooden door. She kicks through this door, right? Comes in. She beats the girl up he's having sex with. She knocks out her teeth, drags her by her hair. She's naked. She throws her out of the house. That girl has to drive herself naked to the hospital down in Wheeling. That's how we really got found out about the party. She comes back.
That's how y'all got busted?
Yeah, and then she comes. That girl goes back upstairs, or goes into the house.
And
She grabs a butcher knife.
No.
And she stabs Thad 2 times. She stabs him in the. I swear to goodness, dude. She stabs him in the back, and she also luckily nicked a little bone that's right behind the ear, and nicked this part, and luckily struck this little bone right here because he had a nice laceration right here.
Can you imagine if it was like down?
Just slightly.
Now, after all that is done, right? After all that's done, my boy Thad's like, yeah, man, she got me. And then,
They stayed together, didn't they?
And then we had, immediately he's like, and then we had sex.
I told you.
I was like,
Me and Kim were
fuck
all
yes. I was like, yeah.
Fuck.
Jesus
That's one
Christ.
story. I have a lot like
I'm
that.
convinced that men
I'm
actually
fucking-
like crazy.
Yeah, you don't marry crazy.
And that's my campfire story.
That I'm exhausted now after hearing that.
That was a roller coaster.
Yeah, I got a lot of those. That's
Story
how you
time.
get
We're
kicked.
gonna
That's
start doing
how
story
you
time,
get kicked off campus.
That's how you go viral on TikTok.
Story time.
Ooh, yeah. TikTok. Let's get that one going.
How long was that song? Or that story? We got to be under 3 minutes or something.
No,
like
TikTok goes up to 10 now.
that? 10 now. All right.
I have a lot of stories.
Well, that's how you go
A lot
viral.
of crazy. I just look. I always understood the timeline of my life. I knew where I was. You know what I mean? Like I talked to some of my buddies from college. They're like, "Man, I wish I'd have had more fun. I didn't realize how good it was gonna be." I was like, "I did. I knew where we were." I was like, "This only happens once." You mean like I got 4 years to get it the fuck in, and I'm a Van Waller to
Unless
this
you're me.
bitch.
I'm
Are you like kind of bummed you didn't have that college experience?
I wasn't going to get it if I didn't.
I mean, you obviously had something just we all have different things, but you look back and go like, God, I wish I could just go fucking into barn parties.
I do wonder like
stab
how
dudes.
I do have some pictures of that bar. I think I have some, but back then, unfortunately, shout out to my dad. He lost my iPad. He didn't lose my iPad. He fucking took that. He took it to the pawn shop. But I had so many good pictures, and I had me in the Winnebago.
But what's Kail's crazy stories, or do you just like?
No, I have crazy stories,
Yeah, okay.
but not that crazy. Like I never stabbed anyone.
Yeah.
No.
Surprisingly.
So
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You're not a stabber.
no, I've never
Kelly's
been
not
like
stabber.
contrary to popular
Bitch, I'll
belief.
stab you.
People think that I'm very violent.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I did.
I do get that vibe. Yeah.
No.
I did push
No.
Javi in 2012.
Hell yeah.
Did you catch a
So-
charge?
Solid
I
push.
didn't. It was
You like
I mushed him.
You run the feet. You know how many come through, run the feet.
It
get your hands
was.
up?
I shouldn't have done it. I apologized so many times. I mushed him. It was not okay.
The old
and
mush. I haven't
people
heard
think that
mush in a while.
Yeah,
like where you mush someone's face. Like,
yeah, but I don't even think I did it on his face. It
Okay.
looked like I did, like if you watch it in slow mo, but it's not. Like all the screenshots are like a slow mo, but I didn't touch his face.
By the way,
I
I
don't
drank
think.
way too much coffee.
I think it
I'll
was
have-
like a push, like a grab the sides and push them kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's like that one of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Do you think, obviously, like, I'm like, I hear that and I go like, that's not really a big deal. But
Yeah,
if
but
he
still-
did that to you,
it would be.
I would
agreed.
think it's really a big deal.
I agree.
And I kind of agree with that. What's your stance on that? Do you think like you should get just as much shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deserved what I got. I should have. I mean, why would I do that? Because I hadn't been violent prior to that. So it was just
Immediately
like-
when you did it, were you immediately like, fuck?
Immediately before
I got cameras on me.
Yes, not even just because of the cameras, but like I had never. Me and Javi just weren't that way.
Yeah.
So I was just like so far out of character that I was like, and I just know this is gonna spiral, you know. So it's like
As soon as you
fuck.
do it, that's when you
over.
know you fucked up, when you got instant regret.
instant. I mean, it was. I don't even think it was over before I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know.
And then you feel terrible too.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
yeah, it's
thankfully he
okay.
forgave me, but I
We
mean,
forgive you.
when-
Javi's a pretty good dude.
yeah.
I was chatting him up.
You gotta get him on the podcast.
Monday
tried.
night. I did. I
he said
texted
no?
him. He didn't say anything.
He didn't say
maybe
yeah.
get it. Maybe
He got a new number.
did he? Well, that's
Yeah.
why.
There you go.
Because I was like,
There
Javi
you go.
always answers me.
I was gonna
He
say.
always texts me back.
We don't have Javi on the list. So, by the way, if you've seen, we have a murder list up there.
Yeah, no, I love it. No, that's great. I think
the top dude you see there. His assistant just emailed me yesterday and said he really wants to be on your show. So that's a huge win.
See, I love that.
He's a big business guy, huge following.
But
that's how we get people. We say
have to. Yeah, I mean, even if it's somebody that you think is so far out of reach, I still think you should write it down.
Can we call somebody out?
Yeah.
On the show?
Yeah.
Is that normal to do?
I mean, I would.
Girl dads. What the fuck?
Did they not answer you?
No, we talked through DM, right? Responded.
Yeah, what happened?
He was like, "Yeah, want to do it." Okay, cool. So then it just went radio silence. Their inbox has got to get completely.
Well, they do have a business, and I don't know how like the inbox, if it's separated from like their business.
Because
inbox.
I was even like, dude, here's my number. I gave them my number. I
said,
call
I'll reach out
if it's easier.
I really want to do
I'm not giving shit like I'm pissed. It's more like a joke.
No,
joke call.
Yeah.
I really want to do one with them. I spent a lot of time with that community. So.
Yeah,
I need to watch.
You think those stories are done? I spent 3 years in the gay community. I worked at the
3 years banging dudes.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he was black for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I'm fully committed to learning every time.
Look how little judgment she gave.
She
was just kind of like,
yeah,
that makes sense. No, I worked at the Purple Pear for 3 years.
What is that?
That's one of the better, I don't want to say better, but like really popular.
Like fun gay bars.
Yes.
Oh.
You talking about fun? The first, it's still there. First day I showed up, I was a server. No, I wasn't a server.
Where is it at?
In Rehoboth.
Shut up.
Where do you want to go?
They do.
I'll go.
Dude, they do drag night on Sunday. It's
Shut
the
up.
fucking best.
We have to go.
Their food is phenomenal.
It's good. Oh, if there's good food, I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to go there. We got to make plans. We get like triple date. Can you have a date? You can go. We can quadruple date.
He'll find somebody.
Well, I'll bring Elijah.
Now.
So then. You do? Wait. Okay.
What the fuck, Kim? Speaking of the food there, we used to rob that place like a motherfucker.
From the food?
When you're poor, you gotta do what you gotta do. So what we used to do is we used to set up like a little me and my boy Otto, honestly, we just had no.
Where do these names come from?
I don't know, man.
Otto.
I know they're characters. So we would set up they had the walk-in where everything was.
Okay.
And one of us would set up, you would purposely wear cargo shorts.
Okay.
And so you would
stuff in your pocket.
Oh, yeah. So you go, so someone would hang by the door of the walk-in, there'd be another person in there just mugging the place.
Okay.
So first off, when I got there right away, me and the chef, we exchanged. I give him a 6-pack of Heineken. He throws up 2.
Is Heineken code for like hand job? Or?
Yeah. It's a Heineken. I got a handy.
Yeah.
So give him a 6-pack. He makes a bunch of food, sets it off to a side, puts it in a styrofoam thing, and sets it off to the side for me. So, we start, that's how we start to translate. I walk in, Don Juan, come on, no. And then, so then we're like, we're working it, and then me and I are like, all right, it's time to rob his place. So, I'll watch, or he'll go in, and then just grab him like tortillas, grab him the cupcakes, roll that bitch up, all the deli meat.
Oh, so you're not even getting like good, like solid meals. You're just grabbing like
bags of meatballs.
Well, it depends.
Like
so
tortillas.
Oh yeah. So we would grab everything that we could use to make stuff at home. But we also
grocery shopping.
At that job, you drank like a motherfucker. It was on the bulletin board. It said 6 shift drinks allowed. 6. Like fucking 6.
That's a lot for a shift.
So most of the time you're blacked out by the end of the job. I've been so drunk coming out of that motherfucker.
Yeah. And it's still there?
Oh yeah. And,
it's a huge, I can't believe you
I'd be all drunk. I'd be in there eating a lobster bisque like this, just with a spoon, you know what I mean? I'd be just grabbing the crab cakes, rolling them in a tortilla, just rolling them, eating them in the bathroom.
I've ever been down there like a handful of times.
Well, yeah, we talked about this. You go to Jersey, right? When you go to the beach? No? Or you're just not a beach person?
I go on vacation.
Yeah, okay. You
like
go to
away.
Beaches.
Yeah. One time I was.
I'm not judging them. I just don't have anyone. Like I don't know who I would call to hey, you want to go to Rehoboth? Like I don't know who I would.
Well, the drag night's fun. That's a fun night.
That would be so fun.
The drag show. I mean, they fucking put it on.
I bet they probably have the best time. It's probably so fun.
That community is the funnest. And I asked 100%. So many questions. I learned so much about that community.
Okay. And I love that for you.
Yeah, I asked those guys.
To go. We definitely need to plan a night.
Yeah, that's why I was really excited about the girl dads. I was like, man, I got a lot of questions for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had a bunch of
so maybe you can nudge them. Maybe they'll listen.
Yeah. Well, also because sometimes I hate to say this, but if you have like a blue check, they'll see it before they see the rest.
Yeah.
A blue check.
So, that's
what the hell is that?
That's when you're like verified.
Yeah,
right?
but you guys can get verified. So
how do we get verified?
Even as small as we are.
Yeah.
All right. We'll circle back to that too.
Yeah, we're gonna get fucking verified on this thing.
How come? So like your show, we went on. We ended up talking for like 2 hours after the show.
Yeah.
About nothing and everything.
Yeah,
right?
both. Yeah.
But like the conversation goes good. Like you come here today, we have a conversation, just we have no agenda, and you're like, "Fuck, we can go for like another hour, easily."
Yeah. But then you hit certain people, and you're like, "I can't even get you to speak a full sentence."
I know.
It's like pulling teeth.
I don't think we've had that problem, but it does seem a lot easier. It does seem a lot easier with you, probably because you know what you're doing.
But you'll have people where you're like, "Oh, so where are you from?" And you're like, "I'm from Dallas."
That's it.
You just gotta draw it out of them, huh?
And you're just like, can you elaborate? Like, where in Dallas, the suburbs, the inner city, like where, like, tell me more. And people just don't get it.
Yeah, you're a great. I love.
Talking same. When I met your wife at the pop up shop, I was like, I'm so excited to go on their podcast. Like, I'm so proud of them.
That's awesome.
Wait, where'd you meet a pop up shop? Where was she?
That's between you guys.
Oh, she did buy a bracelet and stuff. Yeah.
Whether she was at a pop-up shop or not, that's between y'all.
I think I gave her $100 before she left. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, and then she came back with a bracelet. I was like, okay.
Okay. With the permanent ones?
She do whatever she wants. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one too. I actually got a necklace and a bracelet.
I think she wants to, I think from that day, her and her friends are going to start a business of that.
They should.
They did.
They said
it's called like salt and something like that.
No, the girls who like do it. First of all, I have permanent jewelry from them from last year. They said that they make so much money and it's their side job.
Are you a big jewelry girl?
Like more like little stuff.
Yeah,
little stuff. That's not my wife. She don't like nothing too fly. She little stuff.
Yeah.
Some girls go
like all out.
Yeah, big time extreme.
Yeah.
Do you have like special pieces you'll wear when you're like gown, like really getting?
I don't ever wear a gown.
I just got into.
I'll never wear. You'll never see me in a dress.
No. What would you wear when you would go to award shows?
I wore a dress one time.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, well, I had the body for it, but now I'm like, you better put me in a fucking 2-piece suit.
Oh, stop it!
No, I swear to God, like a women's power suit.
Yeah.
Like power suit.
You would wear that?
Like, have you seen Kourtney Kardashian?
I still picture you in a gown.
Of course, I've seen her. I want to follow her. Dude.
She has. She's like famous for like her 2-piece power suit. So hold on.
Came over there with a girlfriend.
I can't believe that. I can't.
I thought you'd be throwing it everywhere. You know what I
mean? That's
like
great.
I'm like Jerry. I'm more thinking like this kind of deal.
Okay.
I like
so it's
those.
like girly.
I like those. You know what I like?
It's not like the teacher.
Those compliment the bottom of the
not
butt.
Like a blazer.
Nice.
Not like a blazer.
Not Hillary Clinton.
I like the way the butt jiggles in those. Those let the butt walk around a little bit. You know what I mean? So
you know what outfit does never does a woman justice?
Huh?
It's fucking scrubs.
I always feel bad that they have to wear scrubs, but they're getting better. They have some good ones that are like starting to show, like they're like more flattering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
you'll see a girl in scrubs and then you see him in street clothes. You're like, damn, that did nothing for you.
The teacher pants. Like my wife leaves in the morning, I'm like, damn, look at these pants. I'm like, this thing looks alright.
Pam has bought recently bought like 3 or 4 pairs, different colors of these teacher pants that are pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. I know. She leaves the house sometimes. I was like, damn.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Do your wives work together in the same school?
District.
No, same district. Okay, district, but are they friends too, like you guys, or no?
Yeah.
They don't see each other. We talk every day, see each other every day.
Yeah.
Because, we take the boys to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do the dad shit in the morning.
Well, they're at school already.
Yeah. Yeah. They're Pam's gone before our kids even have to get up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, most of the time, one of them is up at least. Usually Charlotte.
Yeah.
But sometimes she's out the door and they ain't even up yet. She'll leave like a little after 6:30.
Was that a transition for you guys, or you just like kind of seamlessly like slid right in and you were like, we're taking the kids to school?
I could take him to his daycare and he could get on the bus, but he'd be on a bus for an hour before he got to pre-K. I'm like, dude, I'm going to hang out with him. I'm going to go to the park and hang out.
I look at it as a privilege to be able to take the kids to school.
Yeah,
but I've been self-employed all their lives.
So they don't know any different.
Charlotte, when Charlotte was born, I worked my 9 to 5. So, but Pam was she was a server, so like she didn't work in the morning.
In the mornings,
and then she went back to school, and then I became a realtor and all that jazz. So that was just always like that. And then when she started going to school, it was normal.
So are you going to need a podcast room now? Like you want to come in here now? This will be
this is going to be this is where I'm going to.
We'll get some girly stuff up here. Get some pink up here. You know what I mean? Like what's a girly animal? Like what's a
zebra print, cheetah print.
Cheetah.
People are big in the cowhide now. They're like the cowhide is like a thing, and
I wonder if it's Yellowstone.
I'm sure.
Probably. Is that so I watched Mayans MC. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
Obsessed with it. You guys have to watch it.
What is it?
It's like it's a spin-off of Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
So it's like it went Sons and then Mayans MC.
I went too deep in Sons. It's too good.
Is it that good? Because
you know my problem with Sons of Anarchy? I hate that they never solved any issues, and more issues kept showing up every episode. I'm like, but they didn't solve the last issues.
You have to watch
There's more
Mayans.
shit happening.
It's so because some of the Sons characters show up in Mayans
as their characters.
Like I didn't watch Sons, but Jax.
Maybe that would be it, because Candace and I, typically in the winter, we pick a Netflix series to start watching or something, and
That's what I was just going to ask you. What's your TV shows?
Right now I'm watching Suits. I'm on season 7.
Okay.
Season 6. One of them. And that one's about to end, so I'm a little sad because I want to be a lawyer at some point in my lifetime. If not, I'll come back as one next time. And then I just started Vanderpump Rules, which is like a reality show. I'm not super into like reality TV, oddly enough.
Really?
Yeah, I just never really was. But everyone kept telling me about it, so I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And so I'm on season 2.
So
10.
Do you have time? Excuse me, time to follow 2 shows? No,
absolutely not. Okay. I have not watched either of them in like 5 days.
Yeah.
So, but like I'll like rotate. Also, I'm watching Suits with Elijah, and I'm not watching Vanderpump Rules with anyone. Okay. So it's just like on my own time. But when do you watch
shows? Well, that's the thing.
At night, if my kid goes to sleep early enough.
If there is,
we lay in bed and watch. We've been stuck on old sitcoms. So, like, right now we're watching Full House.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Like 1987.
What about The Nanny? Did you guys watch The Nanny?
A little bit. So we just got done watching all of Family Matters. The whole series.
Obsessed. Yep.
We watched The Wonder Years. We watched Married with Children.
Okay.
Now we're on Full House. And we're like on season 2 of that. I remember
and George
that
Lopez,
show.
Like old George Lopez. He has a new sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
But I love the old.
Yeah, I didn't watch The Nanny that much.
Oh my God, it was so
I would
good.
like to get some DVDs, and like I want my kids also to watch.
Player?
I was going to say,
but it's probably online. What am I saying? I want my kids to watch Fraggle Rocks. I grew up on that. And
on what?
Fraggle Rocks.
What is it?
Fraggle Rocks. You have to look it up.
No, say it slower.
Fraggle Rocks.
Fraggle.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like a puppet show. It
was like a Jim Henson show.
Yeah,
it's like the Muppets, but with like little people underground.
Okay,
and then there's like big trolls. You gotta watch it.
She's too young.
It's very hippie.
What year were you born? I thought you were my age.
85.
Oh,
yeah, and even so I would say Fraggle Rock is probably more popular with his age.
Okay,
like the kids that were born in the mid 80s. Like I was too old for it by the time it was getting popular. But like. My sister or my little cousins would watch it, so it was on all the time.
Yeah, no, that's shit. I love the Muppet Show. The Muppet Babies.
I remember Fraggle Rocks.
Yeah, God, you're just a baby.
Lamb Chop.
Yeah,
Lamb Chop. The little sheep thing. Was it a sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a sleeping bag.
Lamb Chop. Yeah,
like I feel like that was little lamb.
Yeah. You probably like Barney too.
Yeah, Barney.
Couldn't do Barney. That was too weird for me.
I thought Barney was like since like the 60s.
I didn't do Power Rangers either. I was like, this.
Yeah, I was too old for Power Rangers.
I just never got into Power Rangers.
You probably like the Spice Girls too, huh?
Oh, yes. God, if they would come back now, I'm going.
I like Spice Girls too.
I like the
little Ginger Spice action.
She was the one that like left and then they tried to replace her.
I don't know. She was the thickest one, so that's why.
She was. Yeah, she was. Man. She really was ahead of her time.
Even when I was a kid, I liked the meat.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. Because I just watched a whole TikTok on like the roller coaster that is like what women are like how their bodies were expected to look and like just like skinny and then tall and then back to being skinny and bigger and then I was like wow it's been going on. I thought it was just since the Kardashians were around, but no, this has been like a thing forever.
Yeah, I know.
I was so happy to see that calendar because I was like, that like represents women like me, and I'm like, that is so perfect.
You know how sexy that belly is?
I'm like that, but that's like real.
Yeah,
it's not like we didn't.
Yeah,
dude, mom bods are where it's at.
Wish I could say the same about dad bods.
Way.
I'm just kidding. No. I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think anybody should celebrate a dad bod.
I don't know.
Well, first of all, I will say, like, I like, everybody, oh, what type of women do you like? What's your ideal? Like, all of them. It doesn't matter.
Of course, yeah,
I love women.
If the personality matches the body right, it's all good.
That's really what it comes down to.
We love that. No, but that's what women appreciate.
No, but you're right. In the early 90s, it was like the Cindy Crawford, right, thin, like
if I could find the TikTok I saw, it's almost sickening, like how like drastic some of these changes were.
Yeah.
Because you're like, these women are passing out wearing corsets one year, and then dying to get plastic surgery the next year. Yeah. It's like we don't have any type of like.
I also think you shouldn't celebrate obesity either, though. I think I would agree. There's a line where you're like, hey man, this is more about your health, like.
Right, we're not judging you that you're big, but we want you to be healthy. We want you to stay. We want you to be.
How long are you going to be around doing this?
Yeah.
You know, so like, let's get healthy.
And
you know what I mean,
that's something that we will, since we're both, girl dads, we'll have to teach our daughters of like, having confidence in their own body. Like they don't have to be whatever they see online is not like that shit is not. You ain't chasing no dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I got to catch myself if like she's grown out of it already, but like wearing like a goofy outfit. And like catch myself going, don't wear that. That looks stupid. That kind of attitude, because you're thinking, I don't want to make her think
the confidence.
Her confidence. So like, if you want to wear a pattern and two different patterns and have your pants hiked up, then whatever, you go for it. But now she's already grown out of it, and like not being concerned about what she looks like. But I notice like she doesn't want to wear characters on her shirt. Mm-hmm. She just wants to wear like a solid color. Yeah. And like, oh, she found these American Express ripped up jeans.
What grade is she in?
4th. But no, the school dance thing, I would be happy about it, but you pay attention,
you pay attention, yeah.
Because we hear all the bad stories of like the kids of what they do in school.
Oh, my kids come home and tell me all kinds of shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Isaac's in middle school and told me that there was a used condom at the school being kicked around in the gym.
Used?
Used.
Like it had something in it?
Used.
What the fuck?
In 8th grade.
Good for that guy.
I said, what in the world? I said, you didn't step on it, did you? Because that's like a health hazard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even, whatever they're doing is not my business. But like, as far as my kids go, that's a health concern.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
So I was like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. And
especially with the phones. The phone, that's, my kids don't have phones. They'll be Amish.
They did have phones?
Yep. And I took them away.
So if you go back in time.
They wouldn't get them in the first place.
Never. No. As long as possible.
As long as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I went back and forth with it. So they got phones. They would get in trouble. I'd take it away. And then they'd get it back. And then I'd take it away. And then, you know what? No. They didn't need them to begin with. You don't go anywhere without me or an adult.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to have one.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can't communicate with your friends. Well, if they're a good friend to you, I have their parents' number.
Yeah. Dude, we talked about that. The confidence my parents had of just like letting me go. Like I'd get on, like I lived here in Smyrna. I'd get on my bike. I would bike into town and I would come back at night.
That's how I was.
And I was just like, and they were just like, just call us. Yeah. I was just like, go to Smyrna Pool on the phone. Hey, I'm here. Like,
yep. Use a friend's phone. Yeah, figure it out.
I think as a parent, like my kid just riding down the road on a bike and just leaving. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, my mom never knew where I was. She never knew. Why do you think I got pregnant when I got pregnant? So
see, we don't want that.
No, but you know what?
Okay.
And I get that you have to kind of grow with the times. I get that. But like I said, like Lincoln's so heavy into sports, I'm not worried about him. Somebody's parent is gonna call me, if I need, but I'm always there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at every practice, I'm at every game. If I'm not, Hobby's there. If Hobby's not, Hobby's parents are there. I'm not worried. Same for Isaac. Where are you going? If you're in piano lessons, I'm in the parking lot.
Right.
I'm sitting out there.
Yeah. So, do your sons have like would you say they have an advantage of like how to treat women since they had you in their life? Like, like they get to learn what women want. Like you tell them like, hey, this is what a girl expects on a date. Like, they won't be as confused as like maybe our sons. We won't give them all like they'll
see because they're going to see how you guys treat your wives. And they're going to see, if they know that their mom is happy and taken care of, you had a part in that.
Yeah.
Like you're not stressing them out. You're not cussing them out. They're not seeing that, you know. I think for Lincoln, when we went to the pop-up on Sunday, I took him with me. I said, do you want to get a gift for your grandma or your stepmom or she's soon to be stepmom? Do you want to do those things? Because, I want him to know that like, I want to help facilitate that.
You have good standards for your boys.
Because I never saw that for my mom.
Yeah.
And I know that's like, it's so stupid, but like gift giving, it really is a love language. And if you prioritize that for like, you know, your wives and your kids and things, they'll hopefully carry that on.
Yeah, that's such a great thing. You know, I think I told you this the other day. I noticed, me, Charlotte, and Jerry went into Wawa. And the vestibule before you go in. Yeah. We walked in, and I don't know who held what door, and the kids are in front of me. And Charlotte got to the door to go into Wawa and stopped and waited for me or her brother to open the door for her. She didn't even open it herself.
But see, she knows her worth.
I know, and that's what I was like.
She knows her worth.
I was so fucking proud of that. And she just stood there, never looked back, just stood there and looked at the door. Just reach around and open it, and I just noted that, like, damn right, girl.
She's like, time for chivalry. Let's go.
My kids know, too, like, if they forgot and I just look at them funny, they know what they forgot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
like shame them into it. No.
Basically.
All right, well, I think it's got to wrap this thing up, even though I don't want to.
I know. Okay.
But got things to do, people to see. Kail, especially Kail. I don't. You do.
I'm just going back up to the same salon that the
I think I got to paint some walls or something.
What I'm doing tonight? I'm going to go see Burt Kreischer in Philly.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy Morgan Wallen tickets. He's going to be there in May.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to buy, I haven't been to a country concert yet.
Have you ever seen a comedian live?
Yeah, Matt Rife.
Okay.
Kevin Hart. I've seen them all live.
We've seen Sebastian 2 years ago, Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay.
He was in Philly, phenomenal. This was actually my Father's Day gift from Pam. So
nice.
Finally get to go see it. But
wait, cool. you could probably go see Jelly Roll, right?
I was supposed to, and then I found, long story on that one, but yes, I'm friends with his wife, so yeah.
That's cool.
Was he coming to Philly soon?
No, he was just in Philly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, why didn't we know that?
I know.
He was also just in Atlantic City, too.
Gotta be better.
I was like, damn, I just bought the wrong
tickets. Have us tag along when you do that.
Oh, I will.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Thanks a lot, Kail. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Holla.